How would you feel if you looked around at the people from your home country and you realized you couldn't trust anyone? When there's this quiet voice in your mind that keeps warning you, protect your real self. So you hide your opinions, avoid debates, and eventually believe that nobody will stand beside you. And even if you do share with relatives or friends that, for example, corruption can be reduced or that we should follow our political debates, you just become less hopeful. Maybe I shouldn't even try to make Ukraine more democratic. The problem of trust didn't appear to me as one moment, 1 month, or even 1 week. It slowly grew over time. It began during one of my presentations when the participants suddenly said that they did not believe in Ukraine's future and that we all should leave as fast as possible, because there would be nobody who will be fighting after all. The dark shadow of disbelief rose above me. Just for a second, but it felt like something has dramatically changed, though I know it's not. I kept repeating to myself, it's okay. Some people think that way, and it doesn't mean that they are right or that actually something is broken. But it was the first signal of panic, the one that will return again and again throughout the year. I started asking myself, what if everything is broken? And it was the second ring of the bell. I started questioning my familiar world order. I began preparing for the worst, not for any specific event, but emotionally. I started choosing small personal wins over a bigger purpose of community work like volunteering. Regardless of my true trust in Ukraine's capability to sustain a country of freedom, I continued questioning, what if everything is broken? What can I do? And that's when I realized I have fallen into the very trap I once thought I'd never face: the fear of incapability to change in the world. According to the Vox survey conducted by Larissa Tomilina, almost half of the Ukrainians don't trust authorities and politicians to reduce poverty. 39.5% do not believe that authorities can ensure political stability, and 34.7% do not trust them to maintain a freedom of speech. Does this mean that Ukrainians just do not trust each other? No, we trust each other, but not the political institutions. In the same survey, we can see that the majority trusts that our democracy is safe. How it works? The reason is that after all of the glorifying things that happened in our modern history, like the Revolution of Dignity and our defense in the first year of full-scale invasion, we learned that we can lean on each other. But this extraordinary aspect of Ukrainian values has another side to it. Our positivity slowly dries up. An MIT study from 2024 argues that we tend to increase our civil engagement in the moment of weakness but decrease it in the calmer times, which leads to activists burning down due to smaller support at the calmer times, and in long term it leads to them unwilling to participate in any political activity, which leads to actually no one to fight for our future. Returning to my previous question, I had one more. How can trust be modeled most easily? Well, are you familiar with the prisoner's dilemma? The rules are simple. We can cooperate or deceive. If we both are cooperating, we both gain a reward. However, if you're cooperating and I'm not, I'm gaining a much higher reward and you're left with a loss. Of course, if both of us aren't cooperating, we are both losing. But the more you lose, the more you aren't willing to trust. And I, as a civil activist, felt the same. So looking back to the MIT study, should we just accept that all of the activists will be trying their best, but still feel like they are losing, and we should just prepare for the global decline? Well, firstly, we need to acknowledge the problem, because it's a sneaky shadow that follows us everywhere and attacked only when we are most unarmed. I ask you to do this, even if you don't think it's about you. Go to your personal Instagram, set a timer for 2 minutes, and quickly watch stories of your friends. You don't have to actually watch them, you just need to understand, is there a news or not? And if you see one, screenshot them, so we will look at them later. I'm waiting for you to come back to me. Hi, are you here with me again? Look at the news you screened. Are they positive? I have a few friends who only post positive news, but mostly we are reposting something that scares us, make us sad, or leave us in disbelief, because we need sympathy and we need to acknowledge all of the losses and other negative things that are going on. But we all are planting small seeds of negativity in our bubble, not because we are media illiterate, but because we want to share and hear from others, you are not alone. Because the trust that we have in each other is based on our trustful behaviors and positive response to it from others. To create an alternative, positive bubble, you need to divide time for it. Therefore, I advise you to every Saturday, divide 15 minutes exactly after your breakfast to view positive news connected to your past wins or connect with the people who helped with your past success, because it will bring you tightness with your community. Finally, remember this. There's only a small number of people who can be careful guardians of our trust choices in the world living in 2x speed. Therefore, you and me, we need to divide time to have fun. Even on the hardest days and most serious conferences, we need to remember that we are capable and we deserve to be here. So be your biggest ally. Right after I finish this talk, write 50 things that brings you joy doing. And it should be something silly. And I know, 50 sounds a lot, but it will be a kit for the most awful situations in your life. The kit you can look up to when you need to understand how you can be your own guardian and how you can stand up for yourself. Remember, we are all playing a big world prisoner's dilemma, but for us it's much more scarier. Because we are not playing for a theoretical playoff. Our choices affect our country at war, and every choice we make shapes our understanding. Will we trust each other in the future? In other words, it affects our whole life. But not betting isn't an option either. If you remember one thing from this talk, let it be this. We are all in control of our 24 hours. Therefore, you need to take care of your community and people close to you. I hope that afterwards you will try to count each person you meet as a small part of your community, the community that brings us to the brighter future. Thank you.